Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Deyquan Bowens back with another lesson. And today we're going to be talking about chord families. And I guess if I can define chord families, it would be any group of chords that fit into a particular group. All right, so before we move further with that, I want to just go back over some quick theory. There are four major chords. All right, so you have your major, your minor, your augmented, and your diminished. So there are tons of chords out there, with different spellings and different names. But the way that I think to remember chords is that I group them into two categories, which is major or minor. The 1 and the 3rd and the 7, that creates the chord, creates the character, and specifically the 3. So if we're in the key of C, C is the 1 and E is the 3. So that's a major third interval. So that creates a major chord. So everything else after that you add is just color. And I explained that in a previous video called Next Level Chords. So check that out if you want to hear it in context. Okay, so if I can make sense of this, make this make sense, it's kind of like having a first and last name. So, for example, my name is Deyquan. That's my first name. So if I was to relate that to a chord, that would be like C major 7 sharp 5 flat 9, right? But my last name is Bowens. So if I would relate that to that same chord, it's just a major chord because that first and third is a major. So whatever the spelling of the chord is, you don't have to think about that. All you need to know is it a major chord? Is the third a major? And you'll be good. And then you just apply it to where you want to go in your music or in your chords. So I hope that makes sense. It makes sense to me. So, all right. So if I'm playing a C major chord, a C major 7, long as that third is there, I can do whatever. So depending on how dissonant you want to be, that's how you add more notes, particularly outside of the scale. So we have the C major scale. All right. So you can use chord tones and most of the time they'll work. So I have this particular chord that I do where I play all the notes of the major scale. So whatever melody, the melody is, I'll put that at the top and I'll just play each note in the scale to create a real dissonant sound. So here we go. So this would be my C major voicing in first inversion. So E, G, C. I'll use that as my 1 chord in first inversion. So because I have the 3 and I have the 1 and I have the 7. So that's my C major 7 chord with all that there. That may not sound, good by itself, but depending on how you, play it, the context of it, it'll make sense. So we have I'll just play a 2-5-1 in C. So it sounds good to me. And then just resolve it. So these are concepts that I use to really try to make myself stand out as a musician. I try to figure out different ways to use one particular chord because I'm all about using things that and enhancing them and making them better. And of course, these concepts I won't say only, but generally work with less people. So if you have another chording instrument like a guitar player, I would suggest you don't do this stuff because you might get fired. So, yeah, so that's basically it. I don't want to draw this lesson out too much, but just remember that there are two chord families. You have a major chord and a minor chord. And then, see, the augmented chord is related to the major because the first and the third are major third. So this is major chord. That's the augmented chord, right? And then the minor and the diminished are related because that third, the minor third, they're the same. So I can use these chords. So for example, in the scale, I can use wherever is a minor, I can substitute it for a diminished. So a 2-5-1 in C. See? And then if there's a major chord, I can substitute that with an augmented. Just like that. Just simple things to take your playing to the next level. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and thank you, and see you next time.